was 15 minutes in, and Sophie, the fourth official, said to me, "We've already got 7 added on." So, I mean, it was a stop-start game right the way, across the board. So, and it did feel flat. And it's weird. But look, as I said before, it was a clean sheet. It's a point, and we go a point above Man United in that full spot now.
Yeah, just funny for me the fact that you have gone above Manchester United. That's a big goal that you wanted to achieve at the start of the season, was to kind of break into that top 4. So that must be a good thing, just to be able to see that physically in the league table.
Yeah, I think the progress we've made in such a short space of time is good. We're not pinpointing any teams specifically. We're finding ourselves in that battle with Man United, and win would have been really, really important for us to close the gap on the top 3. If you look at Arsenal getting beat last week, they've got a tough game against Aston Villa today. But look, this was never going to be an easy game. And I said to the players at the start of the week, this was probably Everton's cup final this week, because they've got nothing else to play for. So we knew that it would be a tough afternoon.
Thank you.
Sam? We could see quite a lot in that game. You were perhaps getting frustrated at some of the players not passing the ball forwards when they had the opportunity. Do you think that was down to a lack of confidence or Everton's setup?
I just think it was not seeing the pass. We're not lacking in confidence, that's for sure. We're doing really, really well. So, I think sometimes if you look at how Everton press, it's sort of straight lines, so the gaps are in the pockets. I don't think the pitch helped, and I said that at the start. It definitely didn't. Sometimes I don't think the players wanted to maybe take the risk in case it held up. I mean, there was no water went on it at half time, which I can't get my head round, and it was really dry in the second half, and I think you can see both sides. But there was a lot of frustrating moments, because we could have just took out maybe 4 or 5 players with a forward pass when we go backwards, and we allow them to reset. But we'll look at that, and we'll work on that, make sure that doesn't happen again.
Thanks.
Matt, Kerry was limping full time. Is she okay? Is she going to be? Is it just a knock through the game? Is there anything serious? Or
No. She got a dead leg last week, and she just got a knock on that same area. Jazz is the worry for me. So, yeah.
Again, though, with the pitch, as you say, it was dry, and they didn't water it. It's in that injuries that happen. Is that simply because the pitch wasn't watered, it was too dry? It was,
Maybe, I don't know. Jazz looks like she's torn her hamstring. She said it was worse than before, so if that's the case, that's going to be her season over. I don't know. It's weird, because if you look in the first half, where they watered it, everyone's slipping, and in the second half, it just become really dry. But it is what it is.
Tom? Can I ask you a bit more about where you are now in the league table, kind of regardless of whether you do end up finishing above Man United or not? Can you sum up how pleased you are to be right in the mix at this stage of the campaign?
I think for me, when we sat down in the summer and we looked at where we needed to improve, I think we've improved in all areas statistically. The key thing was to make sure that we started well, and I think if you look at the first game of the season, it really gave us that platform to really kick on. We followed that up with a good win against Aston Villa, and it's like anything in football, when you're winning games and things are going well, you've got that spring in your step. The one thing I've been really, really pleased with this season is when we have had a negative result or a negative moment, how we've bounced back and responded. And I think that's a sign of I guess the group mentality, in the sense of, okay, look, we've had a bad moment, we're not going to let it affect us, and then we refocus and go again. And I think that's probably been the thing I've been most pleased with, especially with the recruitment. As I said before, I've said it time and time again, we decided to go young so we can grow this team, and I think it's an exciting team, especially for the future.
Thank you. Please go also ask you about the crowd. I know you're the away team, but maybe just thinking about it from the point of view of the whole city, obviously a great footballing city. Were you disappointed with the turnout? I suppose on the one hand it's a lot more than normal at Liverpool Park, but it's also less than they had here last year. What did you make of it?
What was the attendance? I don't know.
9,000.
I mean, we sold out of allocation, and I know we wanted more for our fans. So for us, it's great. And I don't know. It's like anything. fans go to games when your team's winning. Sometimes they don't when you're not winning. So maybe because Everton have had an up and down season, maybe that's why. I don't know. I think from our end, we've sold eradication. Our support's been great all year, and you know, we want to thank our fans for selling out our eradication.
Beth, sorry.
You mentioned that about sort of bouncing back when there's been a negative moment. I know it's not been a defeat today, but obviously going into a tricky run now, 3 of the top 5 in the last 5 games. You expected a good response in the final few weeks of the season?
Yeah, as I say, look, I think second half we weren't ourselves. I think first half we completely dominated the game, and as I said, in the moments if you take your chances, like we did against West Ham, when we had the chances we took them. Today we didn't. But yeah, no, listen, we're in a good place, you know. You know, if I look at the teams that we've got, we beat Man City last year at Prenton Park, we beat Chelsea last year at Prenton Park, we've beaten Arsenal on the road. We can beat these teams, we know that. We just have to make sure that we don't do what we did against Arsenal at Prenton Park, where we give them too much respect. But look, from my perspective, you know, we've picked up a lot of points away from home, beat Man United, we've beaten Arsenal, and we've now got the opportunity to do that at home. And I know these teams don't like coming to Prenton Park, so we need to make sure that we use that to our advantage.
Everyone happy?
Oh, what? Sorry, do you feel maybe that you can almost be like the kind of kingmakers or queenmakers in this league because of the fact that the title rivals all got to come to you still in the league?
All our focus on is us, and I think you know, we've got aspirations to break into that top 3 ourselves. We've got aspirations to finish as high as we can. So look, it's an exciting title race, that's for sure. But I think from my perspective, we just want to, if we disrupt it, we disrupt it. But it's, you know, we just want to continue to pick up points.